Katrina Kaif and Vicky Kaushal, two of the biggest Bollywood stars, tied the knot just a couple days ago, and Katrina Kaif looked nothing less than a goddess. Celebrity makeup artist Daniel Bohr created a minimal matte makeup look for Katrina. And I love how he focuses more on the person than the makeup. And I'm here to show you how to recreate this bridal look. I'm going to break it down for you in the simplest form so you can create it as well. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Because we're going for that minimalistic look, the focus is going to be on skin. Now make sure to have applied sunscreen before you start any makeup, especially if it's going to be a daytime wedding. To hydrate and moisturize, I'm going to start with the Charlotte's Magic Cream by Charlotte Tilbury. This will help to smooth out my skin, giving a glowing and a plumper looking canvas. And for that extra boost of hydration to keep my skin looking really plump and nice, I'm going to be using the Tatcha Serum Stick. This is a treatment and touch-up balm, and I like to use this in areas where I have those fine lines or dryness or dullness or even uneven texture on my skin. And to tackle the dryness around the eyes, I'm going to be using the Tatcha Silk Peony. This is a melting eye cream. This will help to smooth and blur out some of those fine lines, so when you use a concealer or a primer, it doesn't settle in those fine lines and look cakey. And to moisturize my lips and prep it, I'm going to be using the Rose Lip Balm by Milani. A super important step before you begin any makeup is to use a primer, and today I'm going to be using the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is going to do two things for you. One, it's going to minimize the appearance of fine lines and pores by filling it in. So it's going to give you that smooth canvas before you apply your foundation. And it's also going to form a tacky layer over your skin. So when you apply your foundation or any other product over this, it's going to cling on to this, which will make the makeup long-lasting. From the Coastal Scents Concealed Palette, I'm going to choose a light peach corrector to correct in areas where I have uneven skin tone. That includes my dark circles, patches, as well as dark spots. I'm just applying it with a brush, and you can instantly see a difference. Usually dark circles and patches have a blue undertone, so when you use an orange or a peach corrector, it neutralizes it to even out your skin tone. You don't need too much product. All you need is very little just to neutralize it. You can do patch and spot correction with this. Usually if it's a deeper shade of peach or orange, I tend to set it with a little bit of powder before I apply foundation over this, just so the products don't mix. But today I'm using such a light peach shade, so I don't need to set it with powder. If you observe Katrina Kaif's flawless base makeup, you can see the dimension, but it doesn't look like it's sculpted with makeup. And here's a way to achieve it by using two different shades of foundation. One of my favorite foundations to use on brides is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. And again, I'm going to be using two shades, Desert, which is my skin tone, and Dark Chocolate, which is deeper. I'm going to start with Desert, which is a close match to my skin tone. I'm going to dot it mostly in the central part of my face, and using a damp sponge, I'm going to spread it outward. What I love about this foundation, as you can see, it gives you that flawless coverage, but at the same time, my skin has that luminous glow and it looks like skin. It doesn't look like I have too much makeup on. It doesn't give you that cakey finish. It gives you the right amount of medium to buildable full coverage. And at the same time keeps your skin looking really nice, especially when you look at it from up close. Now to build that subtle dimension, I'm taking the deeper shade of foundation, which is Dark Chocolate. I'm just taking a tad bit in the back of my hands with a flat top kabuki brush. I'm going to start applying in areas where I usually contour my face. The reason I'm using a foundation instead of a cream contour is because it's lighter than a concealer or a cream contour. It's more sheer and it blends beautifully, so it looks seamless, which means you will still have all the sculpting and the dimension, but it looks so soft you can barely tell. Another thing to note here is I'm using foundations from the same brand or the same foundation in two different shades because I know that they will blend into each other really well. So it's going to give that flawless finish. Another thing that I like to do after I've applied both the foundations is to take my damp sponge again without any extra product on it and dab it all over my face. That's going to make sure that everything is blended seamlessly, and it's also going to absorb some of that extra product, again giving you a non-cakey skin-like finish. The only thing to even out now on the skin is around my eyes and mouth. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade 35N. Again, I'm using very less product just to cover up the uneven skin tone, and I'm going to blend it out with the damp sponge. To prevent the concealer and foundation from settling in the fine lines and creasing, I'm going to be very lightly setting my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. That's a mouthful. And I'm using the shade 2, which is medium. This brush is from Real Techniques. It's super soft and so gentle and perfect for a look like this. Next, we need the lightest hue of rosiness for the cheeks, a very light blush. So I'm going to be using the Contour Book from Kevyn Aucoin. This blush here is the lightest blush that I have. It is so pretty. It just gives you the right amount of rosiness. And she had it very light as well. So here we go. Time to lock the makeup so it doesn't move. So I'm going to be using the Benefit Professional Setting Spray. Moving on to brows and eyes. For brows, I'm going to be using Precisely My Brows from Benefit Cosmetics in the shade 4.5. It has that precision tip, which I absolutely love, so you can draw very natural looking hair-like strokes. She has very natural filled-in brows, so I'm going to be just filling in the sparse areas with this. Her brows are just a tad bit longer in the outer end, so I'm going to lengthen mine as well. But overall, I'm just going to fill in the sparse areas, keeping it bushy and natural, and giving it some shape. For the eyes, again, she went for that very simple look, defining her lash line with a kohl pencil and defining the crease with a brown eyeshadow. I'm going to be using the 4-way eyeshadow palette from House Labs, choosing the shade Coffee to define the crease. All I'm going to do is pull out an outer C with a small blending brush by Colourpop, and I'm going to soften it. And then I'm going to very lightly use it in my lower lash line just to add some definition only in the outer half. Using the shade Late With Me, I'm going to add a light highlight to the inner corner as well as brow bones. A light shade like this will attract more light towards your eyes, making your eyes appear brighter. Next, using the Aqua Resist pencil by Makeup Forever, I'm going to define my lash line, pulling out a small wing as well as lining my lash line. It doesn't have to be perfect because we will use an angled brush to smooth it out. This is my favorite eye pencil. It's smudge-proof, waterproof, long-lasting, and highly pigmented. And then I'm also going to be using it in my waterline. That's pretty much it for the eyes. It looks defined and clean, and now it's time to finish up with some mascara and lashes. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Excessive Lash Mascara. And for lashes, she had very natural looking lashes, so I'm going with the Ardell Naturals in 117. Then I'm going to use a little bit more mascara to make sure they blend in with my natural lashes. And in the lower lashes as well, I'm going to be using very less mascara. And here's the completed eye look, simple, clean, and classy. She kept her lips nude as well, and I have the perfect shade for it. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk in 2. I'm going to first line my lips with a brush before I fill it in. To match up with her jewelry, I made some of it myself. I had made some jewelry in the past and I had some broken pieces. So I had to fix, mix and match and try to come up with something that kind of looks similar to hers. I know it's not perfect, but I tried. And here it is. Finishing up with a small red bindi and a red bridal dress, and here is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please thumbs up if you did, and I hope some of you will try to recreate this look. If you do, please don't forget to tag me. My socials are listed down below in the description box, along with all the products that I used today. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I post several times a week. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye, guys.